शोक विनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् देवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Namaste to all and welcome to this session which I've titled as Bhakti to Mukthi. We are now celebrating the month of Margazhi, or also called as Margasirsham. It's a holy month when worship begins early in the morning by singing group bhajans. They go around the streets and worship the deities. The spiritual importance of this month Margazhi is underscored by Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, where he declares that among the months, I am Margazhi. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, 35 verse, Brigat Sama Tata Samnam Gayatri Chantasamaham Masanam Margasishoham Ritunam Kusumakaraha. Amongst the poems or the hymns, you can say, I am Samaveda. Samaveda is supposed to be very, very melodious and usually sung in the night. Amongst poetic meters, I am the Gayatri. And among the 12 months of the Hindu calendar, I am Margasisha. And of seasons, I am spring, which brings forth the flowers. Kusuma means flowers. Margazhi is an ideal month to express our bhakti or devotion to the Supreme Being. In this video, I wish to say a few words about the importance of bhakti or devotion and the journey of bhakti to mukti, journey of divine love to liberation, the eventual goal of a Hindu. Let's say, what is bhakti? Is it something, what you call, just praying or something else? I think it's something which we have to see how it is. It is a path. We have primarily three paths, as you know, in Hinduism. These paths to attain bliss or mukti is called karma yoga, jnana marga, and bhakti marga. Karma marga, jnana marga, and bhakti marga. Three paths. And bhakti is one of the three primary paths to salvation, alongside with karma and jnana. Karma, of course, refers to actions, as the name itself means, the action to perform religious rituals, social and ritual obligation. And jnana, of course, refers to knowledge, often to long-term study, meditation, leading to an understanding of the illusory nature of the material world. However, bhakti, the path of devotion, emphasizes love for a personal God and self-surrender. It requires implicit, involves the joyous, ecstatic experience of being immersed in the divine presence, transcending all intellectual pursuits. The essence of bhakti is the pure, eternal love a devotee feels for the object of his devotion, marking it really as a deeply spiritual and transformative relationship. Bhakti cleanses the mind of all impurities, and consequently, it removes barrier or separation between the seeker and the world. So much of importance is given to bhakti. No wonder we have great saints in India who followed the bhakti mark and attained bliss. They came from different social backgrounds, some very poor, some rich, some scholars, some not educated, some with very, very ordinary background as farmers or merchants or accountants. We have many of them. I am going to give you some examples. We had saints like, I'm going to show you a slide here. Sant Yaneshwar, who was in the 13th century, came from an ordinary family. He wrote Janeshwari, the commentary for Bhagavad Gita. Then we had Jayadeva from Odisha, the 12th century great poet, who's author of Gita Govindam. This is living even today in the form of dances and songs and so on. And we had Sant Tukaram, Sant Namdev from Ekanath from Maharashtra, Mirabai in Rajasthan, and then we had other saints who came up later from South India. Narayana Tirtha is one of them, who lived in the 17th century. Wrote a beautiful epic called Krishna Leela Tarangini. And Purandaradasa, you know, and then we had Narayana Bhattatri, who wrote Narayaniam. There are so many people who were really spearheading the Bhakti movement in India, and they demonstrated what Bhakti can do. In their times, there was no audio or video recording, as you know, and no radio, no TV, no cars, no rapid transportation, no trains, no planes, nothing. Yet, their work and fame spread through the word of mouth all over India and in recent years, of course, globally across. Their greatness is witnessed by their poems and songs that still live and they are remembered. Festivals like Radha Kalyanam, they are all celebrated frequently in many places, you know. Yeah, let me say a few words about these saints. Sant Jnaneshwar, for example, he lived only 21 years and he authored, as I said, Jnaneshwari, a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and Amrita Anubhav. These are the oldest surviving literary works in Marathi language, considered to be the milestones in Marathi literature. Following him, there were many sons in Maharashtra. I mentioned Namdev, Ekanath, and Sant Ramadas, who was actually a guru to Shivaji Maharaj, and several others who displayed amazing bhakti. In fact, these sons, Jnaneshwar, primarily they were uh, worshipping Panduranga Vittala, the form of Vishnu Pandharpur. Jayadeva was a Sanskrit poet and he wrote a great work called Gita Govindam, a great epic poem which presents the divine love between Radha and Krishna. It is a very important text and considered one of the pillars of Bhakti movement. And then came Narayana Tirtha in 17th century from South India, in fact from Varahu. He is the author of a Sanskrit opera called Krishna Leela Tarangini. See, such a beautiful name, a beautiful composition in Sanskrit. Tarangam means waves, and Krishna Leela Tarangini means waves of Krishna's sport, Krishna's Leela. It portrays the outpourings of a devotee or Krishna, the imperishable supreme being, absolute surrender and asking for mukti, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Narayana Tirtha also contributed a lot towards the Bhakti movement through so much later. There are actually many similarities in the works of, say, let's say, Jayadeva and Narayana Tirtha. They are both in case Sanskrit, focusing on Bhakti to Krishna, poetical, musical expressions, and there are also some differences. Like Gita Govindam is a Sringara Mahakavya, as they call it. describing the divine love between Radha and Krishna. The Tarangani, on the contrary, is the Bhakti Prabandha, which is the Bhakti Prabandha Kavya describing the story of Lord Krishna as related in the Dasama Skandam, as they call it, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, right from his birth to his wedding with Rukmani. Both compositions have a powerful impact on the Bhakti movement and the Carnatic tradition. Let's come to today's modern 21st century world. The glory of these compositions is being propagated by many devotees around the world through various initiatives such as discourses, musical performances, dance performances, group bhajans, and celebrations like Radha Kalyanam. I was quite familiar with Jayadeva's Ashtapadi in Gija Govindam and in fact took part in many of the events associated with it. But my interest in the Krishna Leela Tarangini, uh, I would say, was recently aroused by Bhagavata Shiromani Sri Premnath Nataraj Sarma Varahu near Tanjavur. In fact, he is helping me to translate my work on Lalita Sahasranamam Sanskrit to Tamil. He's a great scholar, a very devoted person, and proficient in Sanskrit, English, and Tamil, and shares his knowledge through lectures, demos, bhajans, and also in audios and videos. Narayana Tirthar is in this Taranga Gita, Tarangani Gita, he has described in Sanskrit even the marriage rituals according to South Indian traditions, mostly from Andhra. And Sri Nataraj Sarma has presented in detail the philosophy, what we call the tattvam, of these traditions and also the beauty of Krishna in the Leela Tarangani. He has explained the most difficult to understand marriage rituals and the importance given to women in ancient India by our forefathers. Not only does he speak fluently about the great Sanskrit composition, but he also explains the ancient traditions behind Radha Kalyanam and associated procedures, many of which originated from Andhra and down south. I really have a great appreciation for this person, for his efforts. So, also many others like him who are making a great contribution in the promotion of bhakti around the globe. Well, we're coming to the concluding part, how bhakti leads us to mukti or liberation. Lord Krishna himself answers this. He places bhakti on the top pedestal in the final chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He says in chapter 18, verse 55, is a very favorite verse of Kanchi Mahapariva. In fact, in this course, he explains the meaning very beautifully. And I'm just going to read this particular verse. It is so nice. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vichate tat anantaram. Only by bhakti, bhaktya mam abhijanati, only by bhakti, loving devotion to me, says, does one come to know who I am. Till that time he doesn't know. He talks about Krishna, he sings about Krishna, but still he doesn't know. But only through implicit devotion, bhakti, he comes to know me. And then having come to know me, he enters into me. He enters into full consciousness of me. In other words, the devotee attains me. And that is mukti. So you can see he himself explains that bhakti leads to mukti. So to the viewers of this video, I urge you to start your journey on the path of bhakti to mukti. It's never too late. You must listen to more of these videos by Premnath Nataraja Sarma. And as Adi Shankara sang, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate, Tam Prapte Sannite Kale, संप्राप्ते सन् निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखं करणे भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. Oh, foolish mind, Mudamate, steeped in ignorance, pray unto Govinda, Govindam Bhaja. When our time comes near, Kali Samprapti, mechanical chanting, Dukram Karane, without any bhakti, is not going to help, he is not going to save. Nahi nahi rakshati. He is emphatic about it. Nahi nahi, tells twice. So, this is the message conveyed by not only Lord Krishna but Adi Shankaracharya, and the same message is being conveyed through various by the scholar Premnath Nataraj Sarma. Listen to some of these videos. The least we can do is to encourage the scholars like Premnath Nataraj Sarma to continue their good work for the benefit of present and future generations. We are fortunate to get this guidance and help from such people to travel the journey of bhakti to reach the summit of Mukthi. So here are a set of slides by what I already told you. And I'm going to conclude this with a big thank you to you. Thank you all for listening to this. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna.